Resources are the motor of modern civilization. Without their use and development, people would still dwell in caves and try to get their food with billets. But with their use and development, a bitter struggle for the treasures also began. If wars were once more waged in the field, whole nations can now be thrown into chaos simply by means of manipulations on the futures markets. With massive leverage effects, relatively low capital funds are already sufficient to move prices in the desired direction, which some examples from the past show quite clearly. Back in the 1970s, for example, the Hunt brothers drove the silver prices from about $2 per ounce to nearly $50. Together with wealthy businessmen from Saudi Arabia, they bought huge amounts of silver as well as silver contracts at the Commodity Futures Exchange and tried to dominate the silver market. And they succeeded. However, the SEC changed the rules for the trade at COMEX overnight, which led to the collapse of the prices and into bankruptcy of the Hunt brothers. Significantly more serious and accompanied by massive riots, a price rally on the futures markets for food was observed. It was not about precious metals, but the supply to the poorest of the poor. The circumstances were never fully elucidated, but it can be assumed that the food results of 2007 and 2008 were also triggered by manipulations of the futures markets. China, America's largest creditor, urged the U.S. to deal with credit more carefully. After all, they were something like their bank. Miraculously, the prices of basic foodstuffs exploded, and there were massive violent riots all around the world. At this point, it's important to know that China is one of the largest food importers in the world. These are just two examples that have had a global impact, and the list itself is almost endless. Whether precious metals, food, oil, or other raw materials, most of the topical documentaries are very specific and do not really cover the whole range of all the different interests. This is precisely why Jens Blecher and Thomas Schad decided to make another documentary to illuminate the bigger picture. As in their earlier documentary, EU Poli, published in 2011, they want to interview those actors who must have answers: hedge fund managers, supervisory authorities, producers, and other stakeholders. In order to cover the cost of the production, they have decided to make a crowdfunding, irrespective of any potential interest of potential sponsors. If you appreciate a profound research and want to support the project, we would like to thank you. Let's make it happen and discover the dark spots of the commodities market.